Greetings everyone, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, here to bring you another retro review from past seasons of The Loud House. Today we venture back into the Season 1 archives for an episode that deals with feuding siblings. Today's episode is titled Space Invader. First we'll discuss the plot, and then my thoughts and critiques with my final score. So, let's get right into it. The episode begins with the Loud sisters getting ready for bed, but Lynn and Lucy start fighting, as Lori says, again. And even though their brother knows he doesn't have to share a room with anyone else, Lynn wants to bunk in Lincoln's room for the night to avoid being near her sister. Lincoln agrees to this for just one night, but instantly starts regretting it once he discovers Lynn is a lot more than he can handle. Unfortunately, she and Lucy are still fighting the next morning, and it's clear Lynn won't be moving back into her old room. Lincoln comes up with a plan to get Lynn to move out on her own, but his behavior only makes Lynn want to move in permanently. After seeing his two sisters lament about missing one another, Lincoln sets up a dinner date for the two of them, which starts to backfire until he steps in to intervene. Their talk leads to a food fight, and Lynn and Lucy hug and make up in the end. But not before sharing Lincoln's room for one more night because of their food fight. Well, that concludes the plot of the episode, so now we come to my thoughts and critiques. As someone who grew up with a brother living in the same room as me, I can relate to this episode when it comes to wanting your own space, especially after being in a fight. As if it wasn't already obvious, there's a reason why Lincoln has his own bedroom. So after spending 11 years in his little oasis away from the chaos of his sisters having to share rooms, you can understand why he felt Lynn was violating his personal space by sleeping with him. Get your minds out of the gutter, people. It's understandable why he made all those plans to get his sister to move out, but I think she would have eventually moved out on her own, seeing her read Lucy's poems, and the same could be said for Lucy throwing Lynn's ball against the wall. I give credit to Lincoln for being the one to end the feud, which is more than I can say for his other siblings. But they have a reason for it. With this being a retro review being told in hindsight of future episodes, we find out in Season 2 they have a sister fight protocol, where the rule is for anyone to stay out of the business of any sisters fighting with each other and let them work it out on their own. Knowing what we know now in Season 2, it makes you wonder why Lincoln's interjection into this fight in Season 1 worked out to everyone's benefit and didn't make things worse. Like he said, he knew Lynn and Lucy were missing each other, but were too stubborn to say it. Lynn and Lucy realized Lincoln was right, so I guess you could say him playing peacemaker this one time was just what they needed to resolve their conflict. And we all knew they wanted to make up so badly. In the end, Lincoln may have had to share his room for one more night, but after that he got his personal space back and he has all those balls removed from it. Oh yeah, Lynn saying Lincoln had a complete lack of balls in his room. Yeah, we all knew what was going on there. It was just implied, but we all knew what the writers were trying to say. The kids didn't know, but we did. But if you really don't get it, let me explain. You see, Lynn was trying to say Get it now? Good. Overall, this episode did a good job with the story it was trying to tell. If you've ever had the experience of sharing a room or even an apartment with someone you've known for a very long time, you're bound to be at each other's throats at some point, and you just want to get away from them for a while. Conversely, if you've lived in your own space for a long time with no one else around, it's hard to adjust with someone coming into said space and making things a little uncomfortable for you. You can't blame Lynn or Lucy for wanting to go their separate ways, and you certainly can't blame Lincoln for wanting Lynn to get out of his room, even if she is family. The story was relatable, the characters resolved their respective conflicts in a well-written manner, and it leaves you wanting spaghetti and meatballs. Just, you know, not all over the walls. With that said, I give Space Invader an 8.6 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of Space Invader. As mentioned by Lori, this isn't the first time the sporty and goth loud kids have bickered with one another, and as you'll see later on, it's certainly not going to be the last. So what did you guys think of it? Love it? Hate it? Something you would add? Change? Keep it as it is? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to this channel for the latest Loud House content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.